I am clearly back in Winnipeg, and as one of the viewers once said, here's the famous green towel. Anyway, let's see if I can get into this a little better than I could when I was in Kelowna. I got a lot more tools going on here than at Mom's apartment. Now, I did take this apart like this when I was in Kelowna, but I couldn't really do anything else. Now this cover is, those are not vents, by the way. That's solid. They're made to look like vents, but they're not. Just a solid piece of, I guess, aluminum. Anyway, here's the little fan in question. Now, I've had these apart before, both the small ones like this that they use on the processor, like your Intel processor, or ADM or whatever you happen to have. And I've also had the bigger ones apart. They're about 4.5 or so inches in diameter, and they're the ones that go on the back of your desktop computer case. And best I remember, these ones are around 5 volts, and the larger ones on the case are 12 volts. But in both instances, on the back of the fan here, there's like a little label. And if you peel this off, it sort of exposes the bearing on the inside. Now, I suppose in this case, because I'm trying to show it to you, this one is not going to be like that. But we're going to soon find out. I'm going to see if I can peel it off without having to remove this from the case. Because if I can, all being well, I should be able to put a little drop of oil on it. I'm planning on using clock oil. It's very expensive oil, and it doesn't get hard over time. Anyway, let's see what happens here. Uh-oh, I'm breaking it. Well, if I want to be able to reuse this label again, I don't want to be ripping it up the middle here. Okay, maybe I can get it with a pair of tweezers now. Or maybe I should be just taking this out and do it properly. Now, I know that a woodworker has no business doing stuff like this. Probably some sort of a little clip in there holding it. There we go. One nice thing about having the camera running, I know that if I forget which way this goes in, mind you, I don't think I can put it in wrong, I can just check. The red wire is that way. Now, some of you are probably thinking, why don't I just take this whole panel out? Well, I was looking at this closely in Kelowna, and these little LED lights, they seem to be fastened in there with pretty strong little clip fasteners, and I can't easily see how to release them to push them in. And where the leads are coming off the back of this that you can't see, they're soldered onto the circuit board, and I can envision myself accidentally breaking something. So I don't want to try and take this out. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is to, while I'm horsing around here, I'm going to put the screws back in, and it'll just help make it just a little stiffer. So while I'm removing the fan here with these 4 little screws, I hope it's going to work. I'm not going to accidentally break the leads on the other side of these LED lights. At least that's the plan. Now I don't need the electric drill for this. I just want to snug them up just a little. There, that's better. Well, here's hoping they come out easy. Sometimes when screws are in plastic, they don't want to back out. Oh! I see what's happening. This goes right through and comes out the other side onto the nut. Well, that changes things. That means the whole thing's going to fall apart on me. Oh, righty, I should have guessed that. Yeah, in other words, this nut is connected to the screw on the other side. The little bolt goes all the way through. I was hoping it was going to be separate. But now looking at it, I can see that that's the way they would have done it. Well, as you can see, I've repositioned myself a little bit here. And the idea being, if I can do it a little bit more comfortably, maybe I can get this off without having it split down the middle. Anyway, once again, that's the plan. Well, about 3 hours has passed now, and I've been thinking about this. And I've been thinking that perhaps this will not fall apart right here at this seam. And even if it does, that shouldn't be any big deal. So I'm thinking if I hold these little nuts with the tweezers, I should be able to get them back on after. And that was probably my main concern there. I really would do a lot better job getting the label off if I could work at it right from the top instead of from the edge like this. So that's what I'm going to do. In other words, change in plans. Okay, now the moment of truth here. Oh look, there's a label on this side too. Alright, I think we stand a pretty good chance of being able to get some oil on that. You can sort of feel a little hollow there. Well, let's get the labels off and see what we got. Well, we'll continue on with this one here. We've already damaged it. I'm starting to sweat like I was working on somebody's brain or something. This is very, very thin. Now, if I just don't get too exuberant here, I think we might actually get it off without making it any worse than I already did. Oh my. You know what? I don't think there's any use taking it off. I can't do anything with this. I don't know what those holes are. There's little tiny screws on the other side. You know what? I think I'm going to see what the label on the other side looks like. Let's put this back on. I know it doesn't look very pretty, but I don't think that's going to come off. Take a look at the other side here. Okay, made in China. Maybe if I use something that's not quite so sharp, it might work better. Okay. There we go. Now that's odd. There already was a little bit of lubrication there, you can see it. But I can also see the shaft. Can you see the shaft? So I'm going to put a little tiny drop of oil on that. Let's just turn that so you can see the shaft turning. It's turning there. Yeah, it's got to be the shaft. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm just going to put a tiny little drop of oil on that. Won't take very much. Just a smidgen on the end of a toothpick, and that's all I'm going to do.